What's up, everybody? It's your boy King Hussle. And yes, it's the best money and credit channel on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell. So whenever I drop new sauce, new lessons, new methods, and giveaways, you'll be the first one to be notified. You'll be the first one to know what's going on. And hey, you might be the first one to win something for free. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell on all the YouTube channels. Also, make sure you follow me on my Twitch, King Hustle Live. I do all my freebies and giveaways from those YouTube channels and at Twitch. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell so you won't miss out on nothing. Also, make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. All you gotta do is click the title on every video. Once you click the title on every video, at the bottom in the description, all my social media links will pop up, all right? Got a lot of fake King Hustle pages out there, so please get a FaceTime verification call or video to make sure you see this face. Make sure you are doing legit business and you are getting what you paid for, right? And before we get anything started, this is all educational purposes only, not telling anybody to do anything. So let's get this thing started. Hey, let's get this thing started. Hey, what to do, my real King Hustle fans, supporters, subscribers out there, my real Hustle Nation Empire family members. And we are back at it again with the gems, back at it again with the sauce, back at it again with the information that's going to turn you into a boss. So you tired of being a zero? You ready to be a family hero? Listen up, take a seat, get your notepad and get your pen because you already know when I drop these videos, y'all get them notifications. It's gonna be some information that's gonna help you win, keep you informed, and keep you entertained. So with that being said, you know how we get down over here on this channel. We talking about the new bank scams, the new bank methods that's going on in today's world. They got a lot of people making a lot of fast cash. Now, scams and fraud has been up, or a spike in the rise of it has been up since COVID-19 from 600 to 800%. Why is that? Because a lot of people out there, everybody in the world is looking for to find some way to get some money. Point blank, period. And nobody wants to work a job. Nobody wants to do hard labor. Everybody wants everything for a bit of nothing in today's world. And that's just in any world. People want to figure out ways how to get the most money that they can doing the least work as possible. People are lazy. Everybody got the lazy bone in them. And when the government and the world was presented with PPP loans, people seeing other people getting fraudulent loans with fraudulent businesses, meaning that these businesses wasn't even registered with the Secretary of State. They got fake documentations made. They applied for these loans and they got approved. Now, what the problem is, those same people got approved for that loan and didn't finish out the process. They didn't do their forgiveness part. They got the money and they went shopping and splurging, buying Lamborghinis, mansions, and jewelry and this and that. And those same people are the ones who are in jail or recently getting out of jail for the PPP loan. And there are people who applied for PPP loans with fraudulent businesses that went through with the full process and doing the forgiveness part, and nothing happened to them. So you got two different type of people in this world. You got people who are thirsty, and you got people who utilize their brain and say, okay, if I don't finish this process, they're going to come get me. And there's people out there to say, that don't even worry about that. They don't even think about that. They just worrying about getting that money and think they're untouchable. They don't think about the consequences. So ever since COVID-19, people have been getting into the credit world, to getting loans, the businesses. Everybody want to learn credit. Everybody want to get a business now because people seeing how people make millions of dollars. And it's a lot of people that's under the impression that PP is other PPP loans out here and there's other opportunities for people to make money. So ever since COVID-19, it has been a spike in scams, 600, 800%, credit, and businesses. Everybody want to start a business. Everybody want to get a business loan, right? So all this pertains and surrounds a bank. You got to get loans from a bank. You got to do all this from a bank. A bank is an institution that holds your money, that will lend you money, all different type of things, right? So people see how easy it is. It actually is to get approved for loans, credit cards, and lines of credit, right? And people are doing that. So I tell you guys all the time, there is a difference between scammers and there is a difference between fraud and fraudsters. The difference is the jobs that they do. Now, banks only cover fraudulent activity. And a lot of people are understanding this, and a lot of people don't understand this. When banks send you certain things, text messages and stuff, they literally tell you, we will not ask you or call you for this personal information ever. They're going to be the ones that's texting you the information. So they're not going to never call you, ask for your one time password or your password or username or any of that information. They tell us that. And we agree to that in the terms when we open up bank accounts and sign those papers. So when scammers, okay, let me break it down. Scammers are people that social engineer, trick, or manipulate people into sending their own money. Fraudsters are people who utilize people's name and information to obtain money via credit cards, debit cards, get into people's accounts, cars, apartments, things like that. That's fraudulent activity. So there are two different things going on right there, and people got to start really understanding that because everybody call everybody a scammer and everything is a scam. No, it's not. And by people not understanding that, this is why this method is working because there's a new thing called spoofing, where it's not new, but the new generation has gotten a hold of it, and they're taking advantage of older and elderly people. And there are spoof apps all across the ClearNet. Like you can download a spoof app for free, and these spoof apps are allowing people to basically go on the dark web. Now let me rewind it because everything plays a part with each other. Like everything goes with each other in this world. And that's why I be taking notes and things like that because I get off the subject because I get to talking about this and this will be a whole different subject of how it even relates to this. Like I can have a real that's why I hold webinars so people can ask me anything that they want to ask and we can just talk. But in the beginning of this method, it was submission and phishing. Like 10 years ago, you got to think about it. 10 years ago, an 18-year-old, 19-year-old who right now was 8, 9 years old, 10 years ago, they was a kid. You got to think about it. A 12-year-old 6 years ago, or 18-year-old 6 years ago was 12 years old. 6 years ago, there was Minecraft, there was Roblox, there was all these game systems. Like a lot of that stuff that y'all don't pay attention to plays a part with each other. Y'all know there are adult gamers on these games 2K, GTA, Call of Duty, Roblox, uh what's the other one? Roblox and Minecraft headsets playing with kids. And a lot of times these kids be wanting to get VC, Robux, and all these different little points and stuff. A lot of these kids be stealing their parents' cards and loading up accounts and selling these accounts. A lot of hackers and scammers stem from online game playing because the technology that's going on, right? So all these kids is getting a hold of all these new methods, and people want to make money. So these spoof apps are out there. The dark web is real. So the beginning stages, people used to get random text messages from just like, "Hey, are you trying to spend $250 at Walmart, yes or no?" Those type like no. We knew those scams. Then we get random like, are you trying to transfer 2,500 out of your Chase Bank account and you don't even have a bank account with Chase Bank? So people like, what is this going on? Then we get them fake scam likely calls. That's how it started. Now it's gotten to the point where this new generation of hackers and scammers and fraudsters are getting more clever. So there are new hackers, there are new scammers out there in the world. Every day somebody turns 18. Every day there's a new kid that's been doing this and legally able to move around in the world. So instead of buying or compromising, because I hackers are real. Instead of compromising any type of account or whatever to get random information, they're not being more strategic with it. They're saying, okay, let me get this bank database or that bank database. So now they got these sites or forums on the dark web where they're permitting or promoting this bank, that bank, this bank, that bank, different databases, and people are buying them. And what I mean by database, different people who have bank accounts with this actual bank, their information. So once they get that information, they can call that person and they know this person has an actual bank account with that bank, which would make it easier for them to get a response. Their response rate will go up higher because people, when you got an actual bank with that bank and they getting those fraud alerts, they're going to be scared. They're going to be nervous. Their mind is going to be in a whole different place. They're not going to be thinking right. So they're going to respond back like, no. And that's where the response come in. Now, this part right here, they come up with different methods. They got a lot of different methods. They got, remember, I told y'all about scams and fraud being two different things. So one way that they do it is People who text back, no, they say, okay, somebody from our fraud department will be back with you, contacting you shortly. Somebody will call the victim, and they send out group chats, text. So they put in different numbers and they send out the same text message to all those numbers. So whoever responds back, but the response rate is higher because they know who to go after, what type of victims, the elderly and older people, because their brain isn't clicking the way a young person or anybody brain. Well, it's easier, right? So they understand the difference between fraud and scam. So they will social engineer the victim into giving them their information and logging into that victim's account. So they'll call the person and act like they're the fraud department. They say, okay, so we need to update your information. What is your current username? Okay, what is the username that you want to change it to? Then like, what's your current password? What's the password that you want to change it to? And the, while they're getting that information, they're logging into the victim's bank account. And this is a new way how people, scammers and fraudsters are getting bank login information. They ain't trying to go on the dark web and look and find. They using this method right here. So they get the login information. Now they get the one time password. Now since they're acting as if they are the bank, they're going to tell that person that, okay, we're going to send you a one time password. Could you verify the password? They log into the personal account. The actual bank sends the actual victim the password, and they tell the people on the phone who's acting as if they are the bank the password. So now they got full access to that person's account. But by on the outside looking in, it looks like that person had their password, that person had the correct username, and they actually had the right one-time password. So it looks like the victim is the person who's logging into their bank account. They don't know what's going on the other side. And once the scammer has that one time password, it's all over. Banks are not responsible for you getting scammed. And that's what they tell people all the time. They're not responsible for that. They're responsible for fraudulent activity, not scamming activity or scams. So people lose a lot of money. And then they got another method where instead of even dealing with the bank, they have the person just take out all their money and go and get gold, or they say, oh, Chase Bank or this bank is working with the IRS or the FBI, and somebody's going to come pick up the money or the gold and put it in a secure government FBI or bank account or something like that. And people really be falling for this type of stuff. It's an incident. It's a situation where a woman just almost lost $200,000 in gold because of this scam. And it's more popular than a lot of people think and than a lot of people know because of the people that they are targeting. Elderly woman or older man or woman, they don't, a lot of times they don't have people with them. Like somebody's not sitting with them all day, every day, monitoring their cell phone. So if a scammer or victim catches them at a vulnerable time while they're by themselves, they're not going to know what to do. They're going to be confused. Like they can barely walk. So this new spoofing method is becoming very popular within the banking system and the bank scams and the bank fraud because a lot of people are making it very easy for us for them to complete out the method. And by the if the bank doesn't have to pay back the victim that money, they're not going to go after the scammer or the hack or the person who committed the crime. But a lot of times when it comes to this crime, a lot of times banks don't pay back the money. Like for real, like banks don't be want to give people back their money. They be like, well, you reported it after the time period and things like that. They don't be want to pay back the money until it gets reported to the news. And once it gets reported to the news, that's when they start paying people back their money because they don't want their institution broadcast on the news as an institution where somebody was scammed and the bank didn't want to pay back their money. Then they're going to lose their clientele because banks make money off people too. Banks are a scam too. Banks make $4 billion at least a year just off transaction fees from using our debit cards. And multiple banks have made that, if not more. So just think about that. They're paying they charging us to use our own money. Now I know every ain't nothing in life free. You can't y'all you think you finna just have us hold your money for free? You think you finna use our services for free? No, it don't work like that. But come on now. What's the point of like? having y'all hold our money when we gotta pay every time to either get it or use it. So it makes no sense. But hey, it's the way the world works and people don't really pay attention. So it's all about being more safe, being more cautious, and being more aware of what's going on out there in the real crazy world that we are all living in. Because at the end of the day, these things are real. These things are happening all day, every day. Right now, somebody's committing some type of crime in the fraud and scam world. So it's all about being more safe, being more cautious, and being more aware. Make sure you guys are getting your Norton LifeLock to monitor all your social media and financial accounts to make sure no suspicious activity is going on. Make sure you guys, and it will also monitor the dark web to make sure none of your personal information is on there being sold. So make sure you guys are getting your Norton LifeLock. Make sure you guys are freezing all three of your credit profiles, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experience, so nobody can get anything in your name. No loans, credit cards, lines of credit, no cars or apartments. We just did a reaction video yesterday where a guy was using somebody else's credit, somebody else's identity to get a whole home equity loan for $25,000. I keep, and we're gonna be going over them type of scams too, because a lot of people don't understand there are a broad of different scams and methods out here that people are doing from real estate to financial to everywhere, and people are it's getting wild out there in this world. Wherever there's money being made, there's going to be some type of scam or fraud being committed. And y'all got to start understanding that when I be saying that. If there can be some money being made, somebody going to figure out how to do that in a fraudulent, get that money in a fraudulent way so they ain't got to pay it back or whatever. Or ain't got to be on them. So make sure you guys are freezing your credit profiles. And make sure you guys are getting new credit card and debit card numbers every so often. We tap, insert, swipe all day, every day. We order online all day, every day. We didn't travel with these same cards and order and bought stuff out of town many times. So just imagine of all the places you use your card, all the places you've been, and how many different databases that card is on. And there's always a database compromise, leak, or hack that's going on. So getting new cards with information would be a fresh start. Now old information will no longer be valid, and you would be, fresh start. So that being said, man, be more safe, be more cautious, and be more aware of what's going on out there in the real crazy world that we all living in because these things are real and they are happening. All right. So shout out to all my real King Hustle fans, supporters, subscribers out there because without y'all, there'd be no me. Y'all motivate me to keep going. Y'all motivate me to keep dropping the sauce. And y'all motivate me to keep y'all entertained. So shout out to all of y'all. Anybody out there's tired of being broke because it ain't no joke, let's get to work. FaceTime 101 limited gems are $1,000. But for limited time only, I'm doing them for 600. Yes, 600 cash after Bitcoin payment. Once the 600 is on Cash App or Bitcoin balance, send me a screenshot. Let me know your payment ready, and we will go from there. All right. No screenshots, no replies, no 21 questions, and please do not yell me. Also, make sure y'all booking y'all seat on the crypto on the webinars Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays 250. Make sure y'all booking y'all seat on the crypto tour in person limited gyms 3,500. Make sure y'all booking y'all seat on the month long mentorship $1,000. Make sure y'all checking out my vendor platforms on Telegram and the Potato App, Millionaire Networking World. Still looking for people for the production company. Make sure y'all subscribe and hit the notification bell on my YouTube channels, my Twitches, IGs, and TikToks. Make sure y'all checking out the crypto world because it's changing people's lives, and make sure y'all get in and y'all fit in with these lows. All right, 120 and up, cash up, Bitcoin payment 250. You sit back, relax, do nothing, receive your funds, send me the screenshots, and let's get to work. And with that being said, it's your boy King Hustle. Y'all know I get down to any of these videos. I will see you at the next lesson video or live. Peace.